Hello, babes. Here we are yet again. First of all, check the fit. Peep the fit. What do we think of the fit? Yeah? Yeah, I look good in it? Yeah, I know. But thank you anyway. Thank you for the nice compliments. Actually, were you flirting with me just now? I gotcha. I gotcha. Just kidding. I guess I'm the one who's flirting in this scenario because I'm the one with the skimpy fit, and I'm the one who's like giving you a little extra attention. Okay, so I'm gonna sketch you a situation. You have just come out of a relationship. You are queer. Perhaps not, but in this case you are. And you wanna get out there. You wanna slut around. It's the first day of August. Pride is tomorrow. And you just wanna kiss some girls or boys or non-binary people. And you don't know what to do because you haven't done that in a long time. Either your relationship was very monogamous, or you just haven't really learned how to flirt consciously ever in your life. This was me a year ago, but weirdly this is also a lot of my friends, like right now. A lot of people that I talk to right now are like, damn, I am so gay and I don't know how to flirt with people and I don't know what to do. Well, babes, this episode for you specifically. I also didn't know how to flirt, and maybe I still don't, who knows. That's the thing. Flirting is very different by a lot of people, different standards. But I think personally, it's always about intention. Because people have called me flirty in the past for being cute and bubbly and open and talkative. But I did not actually intend, most of the time, as a girl, to come on to people. It just kind of happened. I just like threw stuff at the wall and saw what sticked. Sometimes not even with people that I liked. Can you imagine? I mean, probably you can. But it happens. It happens a lot. And last year, when I came out to myself, I was like, damn, we gotta start doing this differently. Because from now on, if people are gonna see me as male identifying, I'm probably expected also to flirt with people in a different way. And also, I'm turning 30. I want different things out of life. So I started on this journey of telling myself, we gotta do this more consciously. And it took me like an entire year to get the guts to actually do what I gotta do. Now, when I had just broken up with my ex, I happened to be at a queer gathering of creative sorts, and what I did there was kind of like a very lowbrow way of flirting, which was just telling people, oh, I don't know how to flirt. I wish I knew better how to flirt. I'm just single and I'm so horny and I just wish I knew how to flirt. And lo and behold, there were people who were like, say no more, babes. Which lended me some amazing experiences, honestly. If one of my friends, my besties, is watching this right now, this story is about you, babe. Because they were like, I see, you are inviting us to. to flirt, even though you say you don't know how to do that. No problem. Give me your phone number. I will flirt at you, and we will see. You get to say yes or no. And honestly, that was so nice. That was so nice because in that sense, I felt like, oh, I can have these experiences still, even if I am completely new to my life as it is right now. I still am able to attract people even if I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But then once my transition really started to kick in, I was like, ah! It's also interesting because I am more experienced with flirting with feminine people. And now by this I mean that I've mostly dated women in my life. And I've told my friends the last year, like, I don't know how to flirt with men. And everyone had to just kind of be like, flirt with men? Baby boy, you don't have to flirt with men. You just have to look at them and they'll come to you. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, especially now as a trans man, I felt very insecure if the gay community and if gay people would come to me and be like, hey, hello, flirting? Perhaps. And it took me a very long time to see that would actually happen for me. But we're here now, and I've realized a couple of things about myself. I personally really like the shy types, because if they're shy, it opens up the possibility for you to take steps forward. I'm just gonna switch over to like the little advice column from this point on, because all the anecdotes I have regarding this, it's just lived experience. Because what it is with flirting is that, again, it's the intention. You can have a little talk with someone, you can have a little compliment, doesn't necessarily mean you're flirting, could be regarded as flirting. But I think it is sort of like people generally just want you to show interest in them, and people generally just like a compliment. And that's where it can start. It can start as easy as that. You see someone, you spot someone across the room, you think, oh, that's an interesting person. You go up to them, you go talk to them a little bit, you go like, oh, you have such a nice outfit. It can start like that. It can. It is really also what you want to get out of it. If it's like a really strong attraction you have to this person, you might get a little, wow, your hands are so nice, you might grab their hands, of course, with their consent, and be like, oh, such nice hands. Very forward, by the way. I am also like autistic as hell. So for me, these kind of rules of like what is flirting and what is not have always baffled me a little bit. But now that I've become more aware of like what it is that I want, it's easier to sort of do these things on purpose. Because if you want a specific thing out of someone and they have a specific vibe, of course you approach them differently. For example, if I see a beautifully butch lesbian and I just know that the way that they get flustered by a femme, I will approach them with like a, hi baby, hello. Or the other way, I see a very nice femme little guy who's very into like a more assertive mask. It will be like, hey, what's up? Or it can be both, or it can be neither, The real kicker is that you have to pick the people that you flirt with. You have to pick them yourselves. You can, of course, you can just coast along and be forever the person who lets other people flirt with them. But chances are that those are not the people for you. Chances are that those are the people that will flirt with everyone, or are just a little like obnoxious, will get in your space regardless of if whether you're interested with them or not. I'm not saying that this will always be the case, but in my experiences, it's always the loudest ones that get there first, you know? And that get there the loudest, and that will take you along with them on their ride. Doesn't mean that you have to go along with them. And I think that's what I really learned at age 30 is like, I am now a grown man, and if I want to have meaningful encounters with people that I like, I'm gonna have to pick them myself. And this is not just a trans mask issue. Absolutely not. We're talking about a very broad spectrum of queers here. You have to actually like the people that you're flirting with, believe it or not. And if you don't, there's no shame in saying, you know what? This isn't for me. I have flirted with you. You might have caught a vibe, but I'm just gonna say no in hindsight. It's allowed. That's the thing. Like, people often think like, oh, if I flirt with someone and they catch a vibe and then I have to back out, oh, then I'll be the asshole. Then be the asshole. I don't know how to tell you, but you're allowed to say no afterwards. If they make a big deal out of it, then they're also kind of the asshole, you know? They might not want to admit to it, but and of course, if you don't like someone from the start and they start flirting with you and they're clearly crossing a boundary in doing so, it's also allowed to go like, hey, I don't like it when you do that. Don't. Because that's also, I guess, something that people find hard is like, oh, they mean well, you know? And they don't mean harm, but if there's something that I can't stand is when people keep trying for no reason. And I have flirted with people where it was pretty clear that they didn't know how to respond to my flirty energy. But then I just like, okay, then we don't, you know, then that's not the dynamic we're having here. But if you keep trying, you're just making someone uncomfortable. In the end of the day, that's not gonna go anywhere. And if you feel like, oh, but this person wants me to keep trying because they want me to play some kind of game with me where they want to see how long I'll pursue them, fuck them. They're not worth your time. We don't have time for fucking games. It's 2025. We don't do that shit. If someone wants you, they want you. If they don't, they don't. Clear as that. I think in that sense, learning to flirt also has to do with learning to have confrontations. Because you very well could be rejected. And flirting very much is a form of confrontation. Because what you're ultimately doing is going up to someone and going like, I think you're interested. I like you. I would like to strengthen some kind of dynamic with you and I, which is perhaps more than just platonic. Are you interested in that? No? Okay. Yes? All right. And as a non-confrontational person, I thought that was terrifying. And I still sometimes do, because I will find people attractive. But if they, for example, give off the vibe of like, don't flirt with me, or just give off the vibe of like, oh, I'm not that interested in general, then I might just be like, okay. I will not even try. But then again, you won't know unless you try. That's, I think, sort of the thesis of this year for me is like, we won't know until we try, and so it goes with flirting. We won't know until we try, right? And yeah, last December, I made my my New Year's resolutions. Two of them actually were learn how to flirt with men, and the other one was learn how to get rejected. And the thing is, people keep telling me it's easy to flirt with men. I don't have a lot of lived experience with flirting with men consciously. And so, when I tried to flirt with a guy that I thought was at least a little bit interesting, or at least hot. I thought he was hot. I still don't know how to tell him that I think he's hot, but you know, it's fine. He asked me for dating advice, and it was very like, should I read between the lines here? Like, he's asking specifically if I know where to find other trans people to date. And then I was like, maybe I could ask him out on a date. That could happen. Perhaps. I've never done that before. Mind you, I've not been on a lot of dating apps. But I hadn't like point blank asked anyone out on a date before. And then when I did, he said no. And I was like, oh, this sucks. Again, it didn't help that it took him a couple of days to respond. But the level of anxiety, girls, when I tell you, the level of bodily discomfort I felt from how anxious I was through this process. But because I did that, because I lived that, I feel like my body now is more like, okay, we've done it, we've survived it, that was terrifying. If we do it again next time, it won't be as terrifying. And that's the thing often with these things, is like, it's not just that you have to practice this for the fact that you actually want to get dates. No, it's also so that your nervous system literally can get used to these kind of situations that you've never been in before. And that's scary. I believe you when you say that you find that terrifying. I'm specifically talking to some of my friends right now, but you can only get over that discomfort by practicing, by lived experience. I am so sorry, babes, but that's how we get our hot girl fall / late summer 2025. So we gotta go up to that babe and be like, hey, you seem really nice. Do you want a drink? Or hey, I really like your top. You want to go stand over there and have like a little chat? Otherwise, it's not gonna happen. And that also comes with the rejection. It's like, let yourself be rejected. I know it's hard, but if you can't deal with that, you also won't be able, you know, to calm down if it happens. And honestly, some of my friends are so beautiful, talented, gorgeous. Actually, all of my friends are beautiful, talented, gorgeous, and still have this major anxiety. And it's like, it's not because of you. The other person is just not, apparently not for you. And even if they are interested, but they turn out not to be your thing, again, you're allowed to say no. because apparently that person is not for you. I got really lucky with my current boyfriend because he didn't remember much about me when we first met, but he left an impression on me. He was shy, he was cute. He said that he was totally open for taking naps together. For context, we were at a speed friending event of a local queer community, and I said, like, I get migraines and I need naps. I'm also just looking for friends who will allow me to nap in their house. And he was like, oh yeah, that sounds nice. Yeah, that sounds cool. So I was like, wow, this guy's so nice. Babes, when I tell you this man only remembered about me that I had a car. But months later, after I broke up with my problematic situationship, I saw that he posted in a group chat, like, oh, we're going drinking tonight. I immediately knew I need to go drink with this man. I need to go flirt with this man. Well, I didn't know, but I was like, let me see if I can flirt with this man. And I've told friends of mine the story of like how we sort of started flirting, and people think I'm very direct in this. And you'll just have to see and tell me what you think, or whether this is a direct or not. But it worked. What I noticed from my man at the time was that he was talking a lot about like how a mutual friend of ours should really get a hookup date. That sounded like she needed that, but then he would kind of like turn and switch narratives and be like, actually, maybe I just need to get laid. Ha 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 ha. So I was like, oh, okay, I hear you. I also need to get laid. And then he talked about how he would have these friends with benefits dates where he would cuddle and watch anime and have sex. And I had 4 beers in me at that point, but I thought that was adorable, and I just grabbed his hand, looked him in the eye and said, when are we doing that? That sounds great. And I tell you this, but he did not actually know how to reply to that in that moment. Because he was like, this guy is flirting with me? What? And that's the panic that I also see in a lot of my friends. Is like, when someone directly flirts with them, they don't know how to reply to it. And that's okay. If you don't know how to reply to a direct flirt, let it sink in. Let it take some time. Chances are, this person is just interested in you. And you can come back to their proposal later. Like, just because in the moment you're too freaked out to say yes to anything doesn't mean you can't say yes later. This has also happened to me because I have freaked out in the past half year when people from my local gay community came to me like, so I see you're on Grindr now. Do you want to go have a drink sometime? And I would be like... Also, fun fact, in my local gay community, going for a drink or having a drink just means gay fucking. I don't know if there's like a similar way in lesbian culture, but going for a drink, if you're a little gay boy and another dude asks you to go for a drink with him, chances are he wants to fuck. And that's not a bad thing. It just took me a while to understand that it was not just drinks. But you can say like, you know what? thank you for your offer. I am a little swamped at the moment, but I will get back to you. And if they are really interested in you, they will appreciate that, and they will just go like, okay. And then maybe 2 months later, you say like, okay, I'm ready, and they'll be like, okay, I can do tomorrow. Which is, this really happened, and at the time to me it was like, oh, tomorrow. I mean, I did tell them like, yeah, we can meet up. This man was eager, which is, I think, is pretty funny. And again, flirting does not have to lead to anything. You can also just flirt for the sake of flirting. Flirting is nice. Doesn't mean that you have to go anywhere or that this person has to become anything else to you. Sometimes it's also just like a good practice round or just a good ego boost. But most of the time it's just an exchange between two people that find each other attractive, you know? And if anything, casual exchange of attractiveness is something we should all experience in life. Like, I have my boyfriend, but I still like to flirt with him. I have my boyfriend. Damn, that sounds so possessive. Me and my boyfriend have officially stated that we are boyfriends. But that doesn't mean that I don't still want to invest in my attraction dynamic with him. Because it's nice. Because it feels good to me. And of course, for the aces watching, or the aromantics, who are like, Valentine, this episode is interesting, but I don't have any shit to do with this. That's also fine. I have some friends who are ace, who just straight up are like, I'll let this person flirt with me, because that means that I get to spend more time with them. Which is diabolical, given, but it works. It can work, as long as you state your boundaries clear enough. Like, this is nothing else but friendship to me, etc., etc. It's even happened to me that, like, someone flirted with me for, like, a whole day and a whole night, and then it turned out he didn't actually have the capacity to be anything else but friends, even though it was some extreme flirting. Happens. I think it's all about expectation management in the end anyway. So what did we learn about flirting? If you want your hot slut summer, and you want that to be more than jacking off by yourself, it just means that you gotta start flirting consciously with people that you actually like. People that you might want to have to pick yourself and approach yourself, which is the scariest part. And it's also just, you're gonna have to confront them again, and you're gonna have to know what your goal is, because depending on that, the flirts can be very different, and you might not even have to be very intently or intense with the flirting. Chances are, most of the time, it might not even go anywhere. Chances are, you might want to kiss someone, but they're not interested. And that's okay. There is enough queers. There are enough parties. Today is not the last day for you to flirt with someone. There is also tomorrow. And that doesn't mean that you shouldn't try. Again, it's all about lived experiences. But if it doesn't work out today, no hurry, baby. We can try again. This whole episode about flirting, and I haven't even flirted with the camera yet. That we gotta do better. We gotta do better than that, babes. We gotta do better than that. Like, hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Valentine. I like to talk a lot, but I'm also a good listener, you know. Yeah. I like to be creative. I like to do stuff. What do you like to do? Yeah? That's nice. Yeah. Okay, cool. I don't really have any moves, really, necessarily, but if you just want to, touch these guns, that's allowed. If you want a little kiss, maybe? If you want a little... No? Okay, that's fine. All I want you to know is, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye, babes.
Op mijn benen kunnen staan.